Every conversation you have is a negotiation. Whether you are asking for a raise, convincing a friend to try a new restaurant, or closing a business deal, the outcome depends far less on what you say and far more on how the human brain processes your request. Psychologists have spent decades studying the mechanics of agreement, and what they have found is both fascinating and immediately useful. The human mind does not evaluate requests purely on logic. It responds to patterns, emotions, timing, and social cues in ways most people never consciously recognize. Understanding these invisible forces gives you a remarkable advantage in every interaction you have. One of the most well-documented psychological phenomena in the study of persuasion is called the foot-in-the-door technique. It was first studied by psychologists Jonathan Friedman and Scott Fraser in 1966. Their research revealed something counterintuitive. When you ask someone to agree to a small request first, they become significantly more likely to agree to a larger request later. The reason this works is rooted in something called cognitive consistency. Human beings have a deep psychological need to behave in ways that align with their previous actions and self-image. Once a person says yes to something small, their brain registers them as someone who agrees with you, someone who is cooperative and helpful. When the larger request arrives, their mind works to stay consistent with that identity. The practical application is straightforward. Before making your main ask, find a smaller, easier version of it and lead with that. Let the person experience the feeling of saying yes to you before the stakes get higher. Another powerful tool comes from the world of behavioral psychology, and it is called mirroring. When you subtly reflect someone's body language, speech patterns, and emotional tone, you create a sense of deep familiarity and trust. The brain is wired to feel safe around people who seem similar to us. This goes back to our evolutionary roots, where sameness signaled safety and difference signaled potential threat. In practical terms, mirroring means matching the pace at which someone speaks, using similar vocabulary, and gently reflecting their posture. It is not about mimicry. It is about creating resonance. Studies conducted at New York University found that people who were mirrored during negotiations were far more likely to reach agreements than those who were not. The person being mirrored often cannot explain why they feel so comfortable. They simply do. And comfort is one of the most powerful preconditions for agreement. How you frame a request changes everything. The same information presented in two different ways can produce dramatically different responses. Psychologists Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman demonstrated through their landmark research on prospect theory that people are far more motivated by the fear of losing something than by the prospect of gaining something of equal value. This is known as loss aversion. When you frame your request in terms of what someone stands to lose by not agreeing, rather than what they gain by agreeing, you tap into one of the brain's most powerful motivational systems. Instead of saying you will benefit from this, try saying you do not want to miss out on this. The emotional weight of potential loss creates urgency and drives decisions in your favor. Framing is not manipulation. It is understanding how the brain naturally processes information and communicating in alignment with that process. Reciprocity is perhaps the most universally observed social principle across all human cultures. When someone does something for us, we feel a deep psychological obligation to return the favor. Robert Cialdini, one of the most respected researchers in the field of influence, identified reciprocity as one of the 6 core principles of persuasion. The key insight is that you do not have to wait for someone to do something for you. You can initiate the cycle. Give first. Offer value, a compliment, a helpful piece of information, a small gesture of generosity, before you make your request. The person receiving your gift, whether tangible or intangible, will feel an unconscious pull to give something back. That pull often manifests as agreement. The beauty of reciprocity is that it does not feel transactional to the other person. It feels natural, even generous, to say yes. All of these techniques become exponentially more effective when you understand the importance of timing. The brain is not in a constant state of openness to persuasion. It has windows, moments when it is more receptive, more relaxed, and more willing to commit. Research shows that people are more agreeable after positive experiences, after shared laughter, or after they have just accomplished something. Catching someone in a good emotional state is not manipulation, it is awareness. There is also a final psychological trigger worth understanding: the power of silence. After making your request, stop talking. Most people feel compelled to fill silence, and in doing so, they undermine their own ask. Silence creates space for the other person to process, to feel the weight of the request, and to arrive at their own yes. The person who speaks first after making a request often loses the negotiation. Let the silence work for you. These principles, used together with genuine intention, do not just help you get what you want. They help you build relationships where agreement becomes the natural outcome of every interaction.